Okay, so this is a really big topic, VAs, okay, because I saw in one of the Facebook group once somebody calling VA the secret sauce. So VA is your business secret sauce. And why is there why are they the secret sauce? Because if you have a good VA, then your business will really skyrocket, okay, upwards. And if you have a lousy VA, or you don't have a VA at all, then you won't make any progress in the long run. So let's see what I got for you guys. So let's first start with understanding what is a VA. So VA is really initials for virtual assistant, okay? This is a person who does his job online. Now, it's not only for drop shipping. VAs can be useful in really any aspects. You have programmers, you have graphic designers, you have website developers, you have all sorts of VAs. But for us, of course, since we're dropshippers, we're more focused on virtual assistants who help us with our dropshipping tasks. Okay, so usually VAs will be persons from, I don't want to say like a poor country, but really country with cheaper currency. Okay, like the Philippines, Pakistan, India, mostly the Philippines, but a lot of Pakistans also. And you pay them around $3 to $4 per hour. Okay, you can pay them more if you want. Some say they pay $2. I don't know anything about that. I know that they get around $3 to $4. I mean, they will argue with you until you say yes. So, and they can work either full-time or part-time. Depends on really what you need. Okay, so what do they do? Well, they help with customer service. Okay, because if you remember my webinar, if you saw it, I made a webinar on how to get top rated and more sales. So in order to become top rated seller in eBay, you have to give a really good customer service. Okay, so you have to answer each and every message you get from a buyer on eBay, even if it's the stupidest question on earth. Okay, so you have to have help with customer service. Okay, issuing return labels, cancellations, questions, and such. Also, sourcing items, right? And listing them. Although we in SaleFreaks have really a quick way to list items, right? We do it with our listing wizard or locator or whatever. But even so, you need someone to operate it, okay? And really any other repetitive tasks. So anything you yourself find yourself doing more than 3 times in a row, it's better to outsource it to your VA. So where do you find them? Where do you find them? Well, some say go to Fiverr.com. If you don't know Fiverr, it's like a freelance website where you pay $5. Well, initially it was $5. Now it's more, and you get service for it. But I don't trust them because I've had nothing but bad experience with Fiverr. B, they can fake reviews, so take that into consideration. Okay, they can fake reviews, so I just rather much go to other sources. Okay, there are paid websites like onlinejobs.ph, which is entirely dedicated website for Philippines virtual assistants, or Upwork, which is also some sort of a freelance website. But the thing is, you have to pay. So, for example, I think for Upwork, you have to pay like $69 a month, and you don't really need a recurring payment program, right? Because you need to hire a VA once, and that's it. So most people, what do? They pay the $69, they find their VA, and then they cancel the subscription. But you've already paid the $69. And we said you pay your VA $3 an hour, so that's like a week's salary. So why? So my best tip for you guys, because I want to share my knowledge with you. Okay, I make no profit out of these webinars. I just want to share my knowledge with you and make you efficient. Okay, so just go to Facebook groups. Okay, it's free, right? and anything we don't have to pay for, it's good. And second, it's very oriented. So you have Facebook groups both for dropshipping, right? So you can be sure that even here in our group in SaleFreaks, there are VAs wandering around, and if you write a post, then someone will answer you. But any Facebook group that involves around dropshipping, you have VAs over there for sure. Okay, so another thing you got on Facebook is really dedicated Filipinos groups. So if you search right now in your, maybe you don't want to do it because it will take you off the webinar because we're on Facebook too. But I promise you, I want you to later go on to your Facebook feed and then in the search bar, put Philippines virtual assistants. You'll have at least 3 or 4 groups, okay, which are dedicated only for Filipinos VAs. And you can say, I'm a dropshipper, I need a VA dropshipping, VA for dropshipping, and someone will answer you. Okay, so how to post a job. Now, I know you think it's funny. I mean, it's not a rocket science, and it's really not, but there are some nuances. So what do I mean? As I said, you have so many people from these countries, Philippines, India, Eastern Europe, Pakistan, who wants to get an online job. Because if you think about it, take Philippines, for example. It's a really, really, really crowded country. Okay, now the commuting to work is awful, simply awful. Okay, and the average salary is not that high either. So by paying them $3 or $4 an hour, you allow them to work from home and not commute for 2 hours, per direction. And they can stay at their home, at their comfort, okay? And they can still make the same money, more or less, okay? So it's very lucrative to become virtual assistants in those countries, okay? So you want to post the job in a way that will filter out those who are inadequate, okay? Because you want to save your time. Okay, guys, make sense so far? If you have any questions so far about anything, please leave them in the comments, and I'll answer them, of course. So that really leads me to the point, how do you post a job? Because you want to post it efficiently and thus just filtering people who are inadequate. So I want you guys to post a description of the position you're looking for, okay? And I'll show you examples in a bit. But if you want to hire a VA for sourcing and listing, mention it in the description. If you want a VA for customer service, mention it in the description. If you want it to do both, mention everything in the description. Okay? Also, I really recommend to describe the platform you're selling on, okay? Because e-commerce is a really broad world. Okay, you can do it on eBay, on Amazon, on Shopify, whatever. You want someone whose expertise is in eBay, because our business is on eBay, right? And also mention the supplier and software you're using. So of course, you can mention in the description, looking for someone with experience in dropshipping from Amazon to eBay. And not mandatory, but it's a really big advantage if you've used SaleFreaks Monitor in the past, okay? Because then you won't have to tutor them all over again on the monitor, okay? And really important, guys, is to ask for proven previous experience, okay? Previous experience in that specific position. I wrote it in capital letters because the last VA I was looking for a VA to help us with customer service, and people approached me saying they have experience in sourcing items with Zik Analytics and listing them manually and optimizing them. And I told them, but I posted a job for customer service. I don't care that you have experience in sourcing items from Zik Analytics. It's not what I need right now. Okay, so be sure they have previous experience in the position you're looking for. Again, if they want, it's not the end of the world, but it's time that you would have to dedicate to them, to tutor them and instruct them, and it's just a waste of time. Okay, so better just to get someone who's ready to go. Okay, let's call it like that. So here we have an example of what a good post looks like. Okay, so looking for a VA to do market research and listing. So this is the position, right? Sourcing and listing from AliExpress to eBay. So we have both the marketplace this person sells on and the supplier. Okay, and it specifies all the requirements. Experience in market research using Zik. By the way, if you truly find a VA whose expertise is in market research, he will usually have his own Zik Analytics subscription. Okay, so think about that. Title optimization, minor photo editing, blah blah blah, and that's it. So this is really good. It's really specified. Okay. Wait. Here's an example of a bad post. Hiring a VA, requirement, responsibility, which is obvious, but you can see there is nothing specific here. Willing to success, hardworking person, blah, 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 meeting goals, meeting deadlines, but nothing about the specific position. I mean, what does this dropshipper need? Does he need a VA for listing, for customer service, for general tasks? I mean, what experience does this person have? Nothing. So try to be more like that person and not like this person, okay? Because this kind of post will get you much more specific candidates. Okay, guys, do you have any questions so far? Any questions? Please leave a comment. Just leave a comment that you can see me, you can hear me. I mean, I know you can. I can see us in my phone, but it's it's nice if you drop a comment, so I know I'm not talking to myself. Okay, let's move on. So let's talk about sorting out VAs. So you need a VA, and you've posted your job application, and now you need to sort the VAs out. Okay, so how do you sort them out? First, as I said, you want to make sure the VA has experience. Okay, because inexperienced VAs are a huge waste of time. Now, you can ask for experience as much as you want, and they can tell you what you want to hear, but you don't know if they're telling the truth or not. So I recommend using a questionnaire that is related to the position you want to hire for. Does this make sense, guys? So let me show you what I mean. So, for example, this is a really quick questionnaire that I've put together. Okay, when I search for a VA to help with our customer service. Okay, so I've really just taken into consideration all the really common things you see in customer service, and I've made questions out of them. Okay, and I asked the candidates to answer them. Okay, and then from the answers, you can really see who knows the work and who doesn't. Okay, I've had 4 people answering this questionnaire, and it was obvious that only one of them had real experience, because the answers she answered were really what I would do if I were a VA, a customer service VA. Okay, so let's go over some of these questions. For an eBay buyer asks a general question on a product, where would you get the answer for this? So you have a product and you have a question from a buyer asking about the dimensions of the product. Okay, so a proper question for this answer would be, I would go to Amazon or whoever the supplier is. I would go to the supplier website, right? And I would check the items page on the supplier website, and I would look for the dimensions there. Right? Does this make sense, guys? So this is what I'm looking to see. Okay, so let's look at another example. So an eBay buyer claims not to have received an item and opened an item not received case, although the tracking number shows delivered. How would you handle this? So we know there are a lot of scammers buyers who, although the tracking number specifically shows the item was delivered to their address, they still claim not to have gotten the item. Okay, and I would um, want a VA who has a real proven experience in customer service to tell me that eBay doesn't care what the buyer says as long as the tracking number proves that the item was delivered. And so the case will not be closed in favor of the buyer, but in favor of us. Okay? So these are just examples. Of course, if I would look for a VA with experience in sourcing, I would put another questionnaire, but you get the point. Okay, now guys, I don't mind sharing this questionnaire with you, okay, because I think customer service is like the first position you should outsource to your VA. So if you want to have a copy of this questionnaire, guys, please drop a comment, say that you want it, and I'll post it in a comment in this post. Okay, so after we've used a questionnaire to really test our VA, okay, and see that he's not lying about his experience, of course, not everything has to be perfect. I mean, of course, some sort of tutoring will be necessary, but you want it to be minimal, right? Okay, so after all of this, you need to get your VA set up. So this goes for two ways. You need to set up your VA in SaleFreaks, and you need to set up an account in some sort of a like tracking software. Okay, so let's see. First, you have to open a user for your VA in SaleFreaks and give them authorization for their specific role, right? Because you won't give them your personal username. You have to create them like a sub account, okay, and give them access to only what they need. So in a bit, I will show you a screenshot where how and where you can find all of this in SaleFreaks. Okay, but specifically the general idea is that if you have a customer service VA, okay, then this customer service VA only needs access to like orders tab, right? The items tab, maybe to delete the items that are problematic, and really that's it, right? And my account, so it can go to all your stores in the safe access. But it doesn't need anything else, right? It doesn't need an access to the dashboard or the global settings or whatever, right? If you have an eBay who is a lister, that all he needs is an access to the listing wizard, the file import, and the listing generator and locator, right? It doesn't need access to orders and everything else. Okay, so you get my point, guys. So after you've set your VA in SaleFreaks, now we need to create an account on a software, like I told you, a software that monitors the VA's work hours and productivity. So we use for our VAs a software called HubStuff, okay, but there's also Time Doctor, Watch Doctor. I can't remember really what it's called. Look in Google for Time Doctor or Watch Doctor, something like that. Okay, basically what it does is the VA can mark when his shift starts and when it ends, and you can also track his screen to see what he does really. Okay, and lastly, train them for the skills they lack. Okay, so as I mentioned, you gave them the questionnaire, they give it back. You see they're a good fit, they're adequate, but they're only like 90% of where you want them to be. Okay, so use either pre-recorded videos or make some screen shares with them through Skype, okay, or AnyDesk or whatever. And really show them what you want. It's better to be patient I mean, I know it's a pain in the ass. I know. Let's be blunt here, okay? But it's better to do it once, okay? And like really have a mutual understanding of what the work should look like, okay? Rather than because you don't have really the patience for it, and then the VA makes mistakes and you're angry with him, but he really needed this extra tutoring, okay? So, for example, the last VA that I hired for customer service had experience with SaleFreaks, but it was a long time ago, and she forgot a little bit some of the things. Okay, and also, SaleFreaks has changed so much over the last couple of months, so I reintroduced her to SaleFreaks. Okay, it took me literally 1 hour, and she was good to go. Okay, so really invest in your employees, guys, because I told you, your VAs are your secret sauce. If your VA is not sure of something and he asks and you don't answer, so he'll do whatever he thinks is right, but it's not right according to you. You know what I mean? And then their store will look awful. Okay, and we want to keep a high standard. So this is what it looks like in SaleFreaks. So in the dashboard, you'll have the settings tab and you'll have profile. So if you click on that and you scroll down, you'll have a section to put in details. So you put a username, like a random username. I usually just use their first name. Okay, so let's say VA123. This is their username. And also for the password, I use something very simple, like 12345. Okay, and in the 2FA, you put their email. Okay, they have to give you their email, so you can pay them, right? Because usually their email is the same as their PayPal email, right? And also you'll need it for hub stuff. Okay, so you ask them for the 2FA, and in the type you just choose the authorization. Okay, so you have support. Support gets, I think, as I said, can't really remember. I think it's the orders, items, and my accounts tab. I think that's only for support. Items only, it's items only. My accounts, it's no items only. It's for the listers. So items, they get also the listing wizard, locator, and listing generator. Okay. Yeah, I think that's it. So really, all you have to really use it is either support or items. If you're not sure, guys, you can always ask our dedicated support team. Okay, the tech support. If you're not sure what is the correct term of the authorization you have to give to your VA, and they will tell you what you need to give them. Okay, but this is basically it. And this is what HubStuff looks like. Okay, so up here you can see their working hours. Okay, so for example, I told my VAs they had like a 4 hours cap each day. Okay, so if someone worked 4 hours and 5 minutes, I won't be angry. But if they worked 7 hours, then something is fishy. Okay, you don't need to be so suspicious, but you do have to look an eye. Keep an open eye on the VAs, okay? And here below, you can see how it looks. So you can see there are screenshots every 10 minutes. So you want to see the screen changes, right? Because this means they're moving, they're working. Okay, and this green or orange or red line, it represents how many times they move their mouse within this 10 minutes period. So green means they really worked and moved the mouse and did some work. Red is they didn't do anything, and yellow, orange is somewhere in between. Okay, so sometimes the safe access is slow, and maybe got up to the toilet or to make a coffee. It's okay. Okay, but generally speaking, you want to see that he's really productive and doing his work. Okay, guys, if you have any questions, I don't see any comments. Come on. Leave me a comment so I know you're there. And that topic interests you, and maybe you have questions or something. Okay. I'm waiting. In the meantime, we'll move on. So, yeah. Now let's talk about managing your VA. So, you really sorted out the VA out of the inadequate candidates. You set him up on SaleFreaks and HubStuff. Now he starts working, okay? And you need to manage him. Now, I tell you something, and please listen to me very, very, very carefully. Very carefully. There are gurus in the e-commerce community who lecture about dropshipping as like a passive income, blah, blah, blah. I want to tell you something. Dropshipping can become eventually it can become some sort of passive income, but not totally. I mean, you always have to keep an eye that all work is getting done, okay? Because no one, and I repeat, no one will take care of your business like you. You know what I mean? You are the business owner. So you have to keep an eye that everything is getting done. Okay? You can't trust like 1,000% on your VAs to run all your store. Okay? From my experience, of course, there are better and there are lazier VAs, but for the most part, VA will do what you tell him to do and nothing more. Okay? Okay, there are not so many employees who will, keep an open mind and like do things on their own. Okay, you have to manage them. So you always have to keep an eye that all work is getting done. What do I mean by that? For example, part of my daily routine is when I start working on the stores, I really dedicate like about 2 hours just to go over all the stores one by one, making sure that A, all messages have been answered, B, all returns have labels, all cancellations, I know what their status. I mean, everything, I know everything. It doesn't mean I do it on my own. I don't answer messages on my own. I don't issue labels on my own. Okay, but I'm checking to see that everything is intact. So, for example, if in one of my stores I see that there is a return request that needs issuing a label for today, okay, today is the deadline, then I will send a screenshot with it to the VA reminding him that there is a deadline for today for this return request, right? And I'll make sure he remembers or he knows about it, okay? I hope you know what I mean, okay? So you have to be involved, okay? So they don't think that you're not involved and they can do whatever they like, okay? Second, make sure that the VAs has a WhatsApp or any some form of easy communication, okay? I've heard of someone who doesn't use WhatsApp, they use Vibrant or something like that. For example, here in Israel, Vibrant is not really a strong software. Okay, we use WhatsApp or Telegram. Okay, so make sure you have a way to communicate with them. And one last tip I'll give you is to agree on predefined working hours. So, for example, we use the manage account service. Okay, if you don't know what the manage account service is a service we offer, guys, here in SaleFreaks. It's a service where you just load balance to SaleFreaks, and in return, SaleFreaks does all the Amazon orders fulfilling for you. Okay, you don't have to own your own Amazon accounts. You don't have to worry about gift cards or credit cards or whatever. Okay, you just load balance into SaleFreaks, and SaleFreaks fulfills your orders. Okay, and you don't have to worry about anything. The order will be fulfilled. Okay, so while it's a great service and really convenient, okay, because you don't have to worry about anything, there is, something pestering about it, because all the customer service have to be done via the managed accounts, right? Because let's say, for example, I have an order that was fulfilled by the managed account service, and now the buyer asks to return the item. So since the order wasn't fulfilled from my own personal account, I can't go into the account and issue a label. I have to contact the tech support, right? So they issue a label for me, right? So now you have a third party that you have to deal with all the time, okay? So my VA asked to work in hours that are not correlated with the working hours of tech support, right here in Israel, because between Israel and the Philippines are 6 hour difference for them. Okay, so yeah, they are in advance of 6 hours. So I asked her, okay, if she could work later. Later, because she was asking to working in hours which in Israel are the middle of the night. Now, of course, some of you I know are U.S. citizens or from all over the world, and not all of you are synchronized with Israel time. That's okay, but she had the option to work later, and it's better because then she can do everything live, right? Because her hours are correlated with the tech support hours. So it's better, okay? This is how I prefer it, okay? So just agree on pretty fine work, okay? I had another VA, and it drove me crazy. It drove me crazy, okay? She was working like 1 hour, and then she would stop. I would sit in the half staff. She would stop, she would check out, she'll do a couple of things, then she would come back later and keep working. And for example, I needed her, right? I needed her, so I texted her something, and she said, "Oh, I'm not in front of the computer right now," and it would drive me crazy because while she really get all the work done, it wasn't straight, right? It was really all over the place, and it really bugged me. I wanted all of our working hours to be correlated. Okay, so it's not mandatory, but you can think about it. Okay, it's a point to think about. So you guys, one last thing I want us to talk about is common concerns, and maybe you've heard of it before. Okay, what happens if the VA scams me, steals from me, or whatever? So first of all, of course, it's a legit concern. Okay, it's a legit concern. Okay, eBay stores are our baby. It's our business. It's our baby. Okay, we're responsible for it. Okay, we want to make money. We want to be profitable. We don't want to be scammed or steal from. Okay, now you have a couple of options here. First of all, if you don't use the non-API, okay, if you use API version of SaleFreaks, then you should know that your VA can answer tickets through SaleFreaks. Okay, it doesn't have to do it from inside the store, from inside eBay. Okay, now if you use the non-API version, since we're not connecting to eBay's API, there is no other way really to answer the tickets but entering the store. So you have to give them the password. Okay, now even if you are an API user and you tell your VA to answer the tickets from SaleFreaks and not from within eBay, what happens when your VA has to attach a return label? What happens? You understand what I'm saying? An item not received case. Okay, all these things have to be done from inside eBay. Okay, so one way or another, however you look at it, your eBay will eventually need to have access to your eBay store. Now, let's talk about it. Okay, so what are your main concerns here? I mean, what can he do? Think about it. What can he do? What can he? Okay, let's say he's a scammer, he's a thief, and he's changing the password for the store, and you can't get in. Okay, well, so what? Okay, you renew the password, right? Forget password. Only you have an access to the email, right? That associated with eBay. Don't put the same password though, right? Put a different password for the store and for the email. But why would he do it? Why would the VA even change the password in the beginning? I mean, it doesn't make sense. You know what I mean? If you only ship to the United States, so there is no real danger, because think about it. What can your VA do? Order himself items? He doesn't live in the United States. Okay? And, we use mostly American suppliers, right? Who only ships inside the United States, right? Amazon, Walmart, Home Depot, all the other suppliers we integrated, right? So they only ship inside the United States. They don't do international shipping. And if you don't do international shipping, okay, using hip shipper or whatever, then they don't have any way to ship items to themselves. Okay, I hope you follow me, guys. I hope you follow me. So there is no really way they can scam you. Okay, the only way I think someone can scam you is if you use AliExpress as a supplier, because AliExpress does ship worldwide. And in this case, it leads us to our final point. Check PayPal to see that money comes in regularly. Okay, so what do I mean? You have to do, like, not all the time, but sometimes, okay, you have to do like random checkups. Random checkups, okay? You can take like a transaction ID from PayPal and look it in SaleFreaks and see that there is an order for this transaction. Okay, you follow me? Now, let's say that your VA decided to steal from you, okay, and order himself an iPod or an iPhone or whatever from AliExpress. Okay, so this, like, let's say order won't be documented in SaleFreaks, right? So you want randomly checking some from time to time if you suspect something, of course, okay? Then you can check to see if transaction numbers correlate with SaleFreaks. Okay, I heard a story once on a VA that that inside the business policy, the payment policy, he changed the PayPal address. He changed the PayPal address to his personal PayPal address. So payments from the store will get inside his PayPal. Now, these cases are very rare, okay? As I told you before, most Filipinos are just people who are trying to support their family and avoid really busy roads, long commuting. They want to, make a living respectfully. So most people don't do that. You don't have to suspect anyone. But, this story, this VA, this thief, right, who changed from eBay, the business policy, changed the payment policy to his PayPal. So you would see that, right? Because you would go inside your PayPal and you see you make sales, right? Your eBay stores make sales, but no money comes in your PayPal, right? It would make sense, right? You would see you're not getting like new money, new payments for a week. Okay, so this is why and then you will deduce that something is wrong here. You would check the business policy. You would see that something is wrong. So that's why I'm saying that it's not really entirely passive income. Okay, eventually it can become passive. Okay, eventually over a period of time, you've built a lot of stores. Okay, you have like 2-3 very trusted, loyal VAs who are with you from the start. Okay, you give them bonuses in Christmas or whatever. They like you, you like them, and you trust them. So you only have to like oversee what they're doing, but it will never, never, never be a totally passive income. Okay, you will always have to look an eye for it, open an eye on it. Okay, so if you suspect something, anything, take a look at the PayPal, take a look at the business policy, take a look at everything. Okay, it's not that hard to figure out if something is wrong. Okay, guys, please leave a comment if you've ever heard on a scammer VA who did something horrible, like stealing from his employer, and share it with us. Okay, but I hope you understand what I'm saying, that there is no real danger. Okay, a VA from the Philippines or Pakistan can't ship items to himself from a supplier who only ships inside the United States. Okay. And as regard to changing passwords or changing business policies or whatever, it's very easy to see or to reinstate or whatever. Okay, guys, so I'm just pausing for a second, okay, just to see if you have any questions. I'm still not seeing any comments, guys. It's not nice. Please leave a comment. Yeah. Okay. I hope you leave comments later, so maybe questions so I can go back and answer them. Okay, so let's recap. Hire a VA after you've gained experience and routine work interferes with the growth of the business. So that's a good point. I didn't really talk about enough in the beginning. So I didn't talk about when do you want to hire a VA. So at the beginning, let's say you're a new dropshipper, okay? Let's say you're a new dropshipper. You need to learn the work yourself first. How can you hire or filter other employees or tutor them if you are not familiar with the work yourself, right? You have to be good at it. You have to be excellent at it. You have to understand your business, right? From A to Z. So first of all, I recommend that if you're a new dropshippers, for the first couple of months, you have to do all the work by yourself. You won't have a lot of work anyway, okay? So you have to do the work yourself, okay? You have to learn. You have to build templates, okay, for customer service. Okay, then once you start growing, either by more stores or there are more and more sales in your store, okay, and you find yourself, right, doing that all day rather than thinking of strategies to make your business bigger, then it's time to hire a VA. Okay, now I know most of us, or maybe not most of us, but some of us have a regular job, right? Dropshipping is not our main livelihood, right? We have a job, or at least we had before the coronavirus, right? But some of us only do it part-time. Okay, so let's say you've worked your 8-9 hours in your main work and then you come home. Okay, you don't have all day working on your store. Okay, so if you find that the routine work interferes with your growth, then it's time to hire a VA. And remember, it doesn't have to be full-time at the beginning. Okay, it doesn't have to be full-time. Even if it takes 2 hours a day, right? It's 14 hours a week that are taken off your chest. Okay. Use free Facebook group to find an experienced VA. So guys, don't run and pay off websites, however good they are, and I'm sure they're great. Okay, a lot of YouTubers, for example, will give you their affiliate link to onlinejobs.ph. But why pay when you can just find what you need on free Facebook groups, right? So remember, dropshipping groups and Filipinos virtual assistants group, all free in Facebook. And at last, monitor their work and make sure money gets in the PayPal regularly. Okay, that will assure that you are not being scammed by your VA. Okay, you check their hub stuff. Okay, you see they're moving their mouse. The screenshots are different every 10 minutes. This means they're moving, they're doing work. Okay, you see they don't exceed their time cap. Okay, so they're efficient, right? So everything's good, right? And along the time, okay, you really will develop some sort of relationship of employer and employee, right? And you'll trust each other more and more, okay? Because think about the VA, right? He also doesn't know if you're a scammer or not, right? He can do an entire month's work, and suddenly maybe you don't feel like paying him, right? That could also happen. So I'm sure they are also afraid from their side. Okay, so in the beginning, it's all about creating mutual trust. Okay, and then when you see he's doing the work and he sees you're paying him and everybody's happy, then you can keep growing and really make your business more profitable. So guys, this was our webinar on how to work with a VA. I hope I managed to teach you something and that you've enjoyed this webinar. If you have any questions, please drop them below in the comment section and I will answer everything you have. If you want me to talk about new topics, maybe things you're struggling with, also drop this in the comment section below. And finally, if you want me to put here in the comment section a free link, a free copy of my questionnaire for customer service VA, also leave a comment and I will post it here, and then you can use it for future VAs you're gonna hire. That's it, guys. Thank you so much for your time and watching, and have a great day. Bye bye.